So I've been telling that we are to concentrate on most of the things like ID, title, class, style. Now on this we are going to know about the one and each and everything. Please beta do not disturb. Please unmute yourself while coming into this class. Yeah. Now now it is not visible. I'll check. Now it is visible. Now is it visible? Okay. So we are going to know about the today's class about the attributes. So one by one we'll be seeing. The first attribute is ID. Now ID is an a we'll be going to use for each and every HTML tag. You have to remember that we are going to use with this HTML tag to identify any element. So what is the main purpose of this? To identify any element. Now where I'll be writing this ID within the HTML tag. We have to write this in within the HTML tag. So if first it is going to use to identify any element and it will be used with the in between the HTML tag as an attribute. Now main purpose of this are very important for the ID is it is going to carry unique identification. So it is going to use for carrying the unique identities. So it is going to carry the unique identifier. Unique identifier. Like say I have something like a box, a text box I have a text box I have a button like this, or I have a radio button, I have a checkbox. Like this, I have a different components on my HTML, on my web page. So these are all are different components. So when I am using these components, how the system will going to know that I am trying to enter some value over should be stored in my somewhere, or it should be validate. It should be cross verify whether you entered properly the data or not, or something like that. So how will the person will going to know that the data that is entering in the box should be stored somewhere or should be validate or it should do something on that. Say suppose I have given 12 over here and I have given 13 over here. and I want the output from here as a something like 25. So it should take these two values and it should calculate, and the total value should be stored. So in order to have such kind of things, I need identification for this particular each and every component. So not only this, we are going to use for any other purpose also. So major will be looking into the components. Like if you have a multiple components on the screen, to identify each and every item with some names. So internally I'll be going to store that particular value with the help of that particular identification. So for each and every text box or a components or any text element, like if it is a paragraph or if it is an any scripting language, if you are writing for each and everything, that means I need something to pick up from that particular component. So to identify that element, we are using an id tag, id attribute in the HTML, so that it will be going to create one name for this. Say I'll be saying this is T1. So I'll be saying T1 is 12, T2 is 12 or 13, something like this. So what is this T1? It has been given the label for ID. Say something like I have a P, ID is equal to T1, something like this. So this T1 is nothing but something like this, a box. So that whatever you are going to store in this, that will be carried over here. So that each and every component will be having unique ID. So the main purpose of this ID is to identify the element. So we have many elements in our web page. I want to identification. Okay. So for that purpose, we are going to use to identify the content. What the content that is available in this. In order to identify the content in that particular box or something like that. Then, if we have two elements of same, as I told you the example, we have two elements of the same. Then the ID will going to distinguish, the ID will be going to differentiate between these two by saying that okay, this is something, this is something. These two are different. For us, it's a text box. For us, it's a text box. But how I'll be going to say differentiate? For this, I'll be giving the name. See, we are called as a students. We all called as a students. We all call as students. For each and every student, some names has been having. So like this, in order to identify the names, so if we have a name, there are two names or three names, name called Pallavi, Pravalika or something like, then how I'll be identifying? I'll be giving a unique roll number to them by saying that this is Pallavi roll number 508, this is Pallavi 509. Like this I'll be going to distinguish between two. So though they are students, their names are equal. So in order to separate or distinguish between them, I'll be trying to give the roll number. Similar fashion, we are going to use the ID like this. Okay. So the example we'll be seeing for this, say I have a paragraph, then I'll be saying ID is equal to 1, or say ABC. I have another paragraph. I'm getting disturbance, beta. I have something called MNY. I have another ID called MNY. So here I have some text, example of paragraph, closing of paragraph tag. Here I'll be saying example of attribute using ID. Then I'll close the paragraph tag. So here I have two paragraphs. See, I have some text. I have some text. So in order to distinguish two paragraphs, I'll be using something called ID as like this as an attribute, and I will save this value. So the values are different. So though the text are same, though the text are same, it has been having some identification, this one with this particular value. So tomorrow, if I write in a dynamic programming, at that time, this will be the default value. If I want to change this default value, that means in this box. So if I'm not giving anything, it will be displayed. If I give something in the box, The value will be, excuse me please, the value will be whichever that is been stored here will be identified by this ABC. So tomorrow in the dynamic pages, I want to replace this. I'll not go to the programming and I'll change this code directly with the help of this text box. I'll write something over here. Automatically, this ID will going to take the value and it will be replaced in this location. How the system works? We have two paragraphs. We have two paragraphs. So the two paragraphs have the label or some text. So how the system will going to know that this should be replaced? So I'll be using some a box or something like that where I'll be trying to put some value. That value will going to take care of this ABC. That value will be going to take care of M and Y. Based upon that, the text will be replaced. So for that purpose, we are going to use the ID attribute. Okay. Then next one is title attribute. So title attribute suggests the title of the element. It is going to suggest the title of the element. See, there are title tag is there, title element is there. So don't be get confused. One is title tag is there, one is title attribute is there. So this attribute will going to suggest the title for the element. Okay. So it behavior is depend upon the elements. So it will depend upon the elements. It's depend upon the elements. It will be used for tooltip. It will be used as tooltip. I will show how what is the tooltip. Mm, yeah. Can you able to see here? I got some disk cleanup. See something I'll be going to get. Yeah, here you can see Microsoft Office PowerPoint 2007. Do you got something like this? Are you able to see? I bubble has been popped up over here. See, I got something like this. So if I put my cursor on this, automatically I'll be getting some see Arduino. Are you able to see my screen, beta? Yeah, you can see here. I am getting some message over here. See everything. Just whenever I'm putting my cursor onto the icon or somewhere, I'm getting that what it is. So I'm getting something like. So in order to get like this, I'm using the title. So it is going to identify the title element depends upon the usage. So maximum we use this for tooltip purpose. So we call that as a tooltip. So how I'll be using this one? So say something like I have a tag called h4 tag. Then I'll be saying title. Then I'll be giving something like here HTML. Then I'll close it and I'll be saying here heading tag of h4 size. Like this I'll be giving my any text which I want to display on the screen. So when I'm displaying, when I put my cursor onto this text, this will be popped out. So this will be automatically popped out. I'll be showing the output for this if possible. I'm trying to open the system because it's taking time. Meanwhile, we'll go with another one. So what is the next one? Class. Meanwhile, it loads. I'll be going with a topic. Then another important one is class tag. Now, it is associated with an element. It is associated with an element. Maximum we are going to use this with our style sheet. When we learn about the style sheet, at that time we're going to know about when it comes about the topic called CSS. As I told you in yesterday's class, there are three different types of style sheets: are the internal, inline, and external. In that topic, we'll be going to use, you will see the usage of class attribute. Meanwhile, just you should remember that we are going to use this along with our tag. Okay, with an HTML element, we are going to use this, which is going to specify the class of that particular element. We're going to specify the class of that particular element. So with the help of, in the when we go for the CSS, I will going to create it. One advantage of this class is what we can do means I can have multiple names. I can have a multiple names. Say I will be having C1, then without space, we are going to give the space C2, then C3, and I'll be writing something like this. Now, what is the advantage of this means if I write any styles, as I told you in yesterday's, like if I want to have the paint for my nail polish, I will be having my nail polish. Okay, lipstick I'll be using some other decorative parts. So I'll be saying for this 3%, that means as I given one yesterday one example, that if I'm going for a party, I will be having all this makeup and all the things before attending the party. So if you are going to the beauty parlor with your four of your friends, then you are saying the beautician that for the four members this is common. Okay, or the four two members this is common. So that blindly the person will going to make the arrangements of the three people or four people sitting there, and he'll be asking that okay, these three people require nail polish, this three people require the lipsticks, like this. So I'm telling that person do this three at a time. So if I use this, automatically this will be applicable to that four persons, the same kind of pattern. Okay, so the pattern will going to applicable for the three person in this fashion. This is how we are going to use it. So in the depth of this one, once we enter into the third unit, we're going to know about this. So meanwhile, just you remember that there is something called attribute called class also. Okay, see how I'll be writing this one with the help of say paragraph. Class is equal to something class C1 or something like this. So for all the title is, see, we are writing what is the common thing you find. We have something called attribute and value. Here also we have attribute and value. This is common thing. Okay, so that is what the definition of the attribute, as I told you, that we will be having two things. One is attribute name and the value will be having. So for all the things will be like that. So what is the flexibility you can find? Class, title, id or style, whatever the attributes you are using, this all will be used along with the your elements, whatever the elements till now you learned. So yesterday we have learned some few tags, day before yesterday we learned few more HTML elements, like we see something called h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6. Then we see something called bold tag, italic tag, underline tag, center tag. Then we learn yesterday table tag. Okay, then we have been gone with some other order list, unordered list. So like this we have been using all this tag. For all this four are applicable. So these are the common things we are going to use for all the HTML. So the ID, title, class, and the style. Okay. So as I've been yesterday, I've been explaining about the style also. So these are the attributes which will be covered in our coming classes. Then We have something called lang attribute. We have something called lang attribute. Now, what is this lang? Lang itself name is language. Okay, it is going to indicate the what is the main language of your document. So it will going to indicate the main language of your document that you are going to use, right? So how I'll be using now, this can be used, this tag can be used not for all, it is only used with the our starting of HTML tag. So we have been telling about the HTML. Now here I'll be using something called lang. Lang is equal to say en. Now en stands for English. Now suppose I'll be saying lang is equal to Telugu, only two letters. I'll be saying something called lang is equal to Urdu. So this all will be used only with the starting. That means if I want to write my HTML program in any of the language, I have to preferably I have to tell that I'm using the language in Telugu, I'm using the language in English, I'm using the language in Urdu. So like that, I can specify the attribute. So the lang attributes is used going to tell you that what is your entire documents is consisting of. You may have seen like China, Japanese website or something like that. We will be finding that our entire page will be in Japanese. Immediately when I open that website, I'll be getting on the topmost web browser on the browser saying that, do you want to translate into your English language or any other language? Then if you allow it, it will be translated. Otherwise, it will be as it is. So like that, how it will be done? Because I'm saying that I'm writing my entire web page in a form of language. That means I'll be writing now here, this will be not change. H1, H2, H3 will not change. This will not change. What it will going to change? This will be going to change. Now this information, the content which you are writing in either in English, French, Urdu or whatever you are writing this all things in that particular language. Tags will not going to change. This is fixed. This is not going to change. Only the content will be changed. So as an example, if you go to the Kerala, you will be finding they will be going to add all the ingredients in the form of coconut. So wherever you go, they'll add maximum usage of coconut oil for food, coconut, 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 coconut. So that is their tradition. So like that, the content is changing but food is same. So similarly here also the tags will not going to change, tag will be as it is. Only the information that you are going to type, you are telling that document that I am trying to write the documents or the content, the information which will be in the form of English or Telugu or Urdu or some other language. So it's depend upon the things. Okay, so for this we'll be having the language codes. We are going to learn about the language codes depending upon the, I'll give the list of that because uh, uh, it will be very easy to identify those uh, codes. I'll be sending the list of that. So like this, we'll be having this kind of attribute called lang attribute. Okay. Then there are some other attributes we'll be learning. So we have seen the lang attribute. Then we have something called align attribute. Now align attribute values are what? Left, right, and center. Who is this beta? Himanjali. Yeah. So here I have another attribute related to alignment of my paragraph. So if I want my any text to be left side, right side, or center, I'll be using an attribute called align, and these are the values. Then we have something called v align. We have something called v align. Now this will going to say something called top, bottom, and middle. So this is left side, right side, and center. This is top, bottom, and middle. So it's depend upon how you want to use it. Then the important most people will be liking something called BG color. So I want to fill my entire page with color. I want to fill my text box with colors. So I'll be using something called BG color. Now, in this BG color, it's a big topic. We here will be learning this. Now, this is very important. You have to listen carefully. Now, BG color. I can have the numbers. So it can be numeric value. It can be hexadecimal value, or it can be RGB value. We have three different flavors: numeric value, hexadecimal value, and RGB value. Okay. Now, how it will be, I'll be showing you. Now, when I say BG color, then I'll be saying red. That means my background will be filled with red color. So here I'm giving the value. Now I'll be saying something called BG color hash 00CC FF, something like this. I'll be using something like this. Okay. Now this is hexadecimal value. Now I will giving the brief introduction about this explanation about, just you right now you remember the things how it will be. I can have the numeric value like this, or I can have the BG color like this, or I can say something called BG color RGB. I'll be saying I'll be saying here 0 comma 0 comma 255. Now this is another way of color. Now one by one we'll be seeing. See, it is having the attribute value, attribute value, attribute value. That is okay. Now, what are the three things we have? We have these three things. Now come to the first one, RGB. Now RGB stands for red, green, blue. Red, green, blue combination. Starting from 0 to 255. So I have the value from 0 to 255. That means I can have total, including 0, we have total 256 colors. So if I want blue color, then 0 0, that means I'm making this as a 0, nullifying this, and I'm saying 255. So that means automatically the value will be blue color. Suppose if I want green, I'll be saying 0 255 comma 0, then I'll be going to get the green color. If I want red, I'll be saying 255 comma 0 comma 0. I'll get like this. Now, if I want 0 comma 0 comma 0, then I'll be going to get pure white color. If I want 255 255 comma 255 comma 255, then it will be total black color. Okay. Now, if I won't use any other things, the range should be 0 to 255. Then I'll be having different combination of the colors with this RGB. So RGB is a function which will going to take. Now I'll be saying 2 comma 20 comma 20. So if it is like this, it will be some other colors which will be near to green and blue combinations, light green or light blue or magenta or something like that. You're going to get different combination of the colors. So it's according to that particular combination. So like this, I can have my RGB function from 0 to 255 as a range. I can give any values like this. I can want white color or black color. I want green color, red color or blue color. I'll be using such kind of things with the combination of BG color. So I can have the background color. So BG stands for background color for the page or for the text or any other image. So whichever for you, whichever that you want to fill with the color of the background, then I'll be using this particular function. Right? Any doubt regarding this? Yeah. Now coming to the BG color. So directly it's saying color. So directly I can say any color that you want. So I will be saying BG color and you specify the name. So I'll be saying black. I'll get the black color. I say something called BG color magenta. So I'll be saying magenta. So I can give. Now here I am sometime I'm writing double quotes, sometime I'm writing single quotes. But anything it is you can allow. So no need to worry about that. So sir, sometime you're writing double and sometime is single, which we have to follow. You can follow both the things. So no need to worry about this. You have to specify the value either in double quotes and single quotes. Now one thing you have to remember, when you are going for a scripting language, going to a scripting language, you specify only in the single quote. So I suggest better that you practice from now onwards giving the value in single quotes, because when we're writing the program, we're going to know what is the importance of the double quotes and the single quotes. Okay, so if you're writing a normal HTML, you can give the value in the double quotes or single quote. But when you're going for the scripting language, just try to practice with the single quotes. So the value should be put it in the single quotes so that it will be very convenient for executing the program. The scripting language will be having differentiation between this double and single. Okay, so this is how I'll be having the bg color with value, bg color with RGB function. Now coming to this one, we'll be showing you. So one is, another is bg color with hexadecimal. So bg with bg color with, say something called bg color is equal to codes uh, hash ffcc00. Now this is the some other value. Now for this you no need to remember all these things. I'll be telling how to do this. So total, this is hexadecimal value. So hexadecimal value means total 16. Okay, so how it will be, I can use this will be 6 characters. So I can use from 3 to 6 characters. So you can see here 1 2 3 4 5 6, I can use 3 or 6. So that is the limitation, you cannot cross this or cannot less. So I cannot go with hash, and hexadecimal is always followed with hash symbol. So we are going to use a one wild character called hash. Okay, so on your keyboard you will be finding this hash symbol. Okay, so with the help of this hash symbol, I'm trying to follow the 6 characters or 3 characters. So it can be 3 characters or 3 letters or a 6 letters, right? Now, what are the 6 letters or 3 letters I can use? I can use something called 0 to 9. I can use 0 to 9 digits followed by A to F. 0 to 9 and A to F. I can use the combination of all this, or I can use only this, or I can use only this, or I can use both. But criteria is three letters or 6 letters, either 3 letters or 6 letters with the combination of all this. Say something like I want 0 0 0 0 0 0 6, or I'll be saying 3 zeros. Okay, if I say all 4 F's, so this is white, this is black. Okay, so I can use all the digits like this, or I can use all the letters like this. Now how you will be using the combination, as I given the combination like this, in this fashion. So we'll get one color like this. So total you have to remember 0 to 9. See, when I say 16, how it the 16 character hexadecimals will be taking. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So the 10, then we have something called 11 12 13 14 15 and 16. So these are all our hexadecimal values. Okay, so 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11 12 13 14 15 16. So A B C D E F. So with all these combinations I can make any one of the color. So right now I'll be showing you whether the colors are there or not. I'll see whether it is there or not. So you can search this on your website also, like this. See here. Are you able to see the screen, beta? Is my screen is audio visible? Yeah. See here you have the different color names. See pink color is like this. In pink also we have lot of variations. See we have different colors, and on the top you can find the hexadecimal code also. You can see there is FF57C3. Now suppose if I want this color, say I want this dark salmon. When I say dark salmon, I have the name CE9967A. Now like this. So in varieties of color. Now suppose I want crimson. So when I say click on the crimson, I have something called E99679. Now these are the names for that particular color and this one. So this is how you will be finding. Now I'll be showing some other things. When I go with the chart, how it will be. Now see, these are the different colors. See, these are the different colors. For each and every color you can see, and you can just change it and automatically you can see for every color you have the name. See the combination also you can see. As I told you, there is an RGB color 255, 255, 250 to 255. So here you can see if I want the top one color. So if I want this color, if I want this particular color, what I am doing, I can use hexadecimal value as hash F9EBEA, or I can go for 249, 235, 234. See, like this I have different colors. See, if I want this kind of color, so I will be having something called like this A9326 or 226 hash. It's the hexadecimal. If you want RGB color, 169, 50 and 38. So like this I can go with my all my colors. So this is how I'll be using. So I have the BG color with hexadecimal value, I have BG color with numeric value, and I have the something called RGB function. So with different combinations I can use this attribute BG color. So BG color is an attribute and these are the values. The fashion of the values I have told you like this. Okay. Then another, coming to the another attribute, we have something called background. Now you have seen you are filling your image or you are filling your text or your page with colors using the BG color. You are using the BG color. With the help of this I'm trying to fill my page or my image background, something like that, using the big BG color. Now I have something called background. Now I can fill, that means I don't like colors, I don't want colors, I want only the background with some image. So if I want my screen should be filled with background as an image, or my picture or my text, some text is there, I should want the text should be filled with background image, then I'll be using something called background. Now for this the value will be URL. What is URL? Uniform resource locator. So I need the address. So here URL is, we have to specify the address of that particular image so that my page will be filled with that particular image. So the address can be from your computer, the address can be some other computer or from some other net. So you are trying to browse the images from which you like on the web browser. So you just copy the link and pasting over here. So say something like I have something called HTTP say www.amscollege.org/images slash abc.jpg. Now if it is I am like this, I'll put it everything. Now this is the link which I found it on my AMS college. There is some images folders there. There is one abc dot, or I say something called logo.jpg. So I have some logo of my college logo is there. So I'll want to go with the logo of JPG. Then I'll want to put this to be my background. So I'll copy this link and I'll paste it over here. So once I paste it, my page will be filled with logo, okay, of my AMS college logo. So like this I'll be using the background as an attribute. Okay, I will be using a background as an attribute. Then another attribute maximum will be using something called width. We have something called height. Okay, so I'm using the width and height. So this will be maximum will be using with the images. Okay, for the image, some for the image I want the width, or for my paragraph I want the width, or for my table, I have table, I want width and height. So I want to expand it or I want to enlarge it. So I want to expand my text box, I want to expand my image, or I want to expand my table, something like that. I'll be using the width and height. Now these are the maximum attributes which will be covered in our classes, in all the programs. So what are the things we learned in the attributes? One is ID, one is title. Then we have seen something called style. We have seen something called class. Then we have seen something called align. We have seen something called v-align. Then what we learned? We have seen something called BG color. Then we have seen background. Then we have seen width, height. Like this, we have been come across with this all different types of attributes. Okay, now based upon this we'll see the programs. So one by one we'll see all these programs. So just all of you start your HTML editor. I am also sharing the HTML editor on the screen. Just go through that and we start writing the programs. So my name of my program is what? Attribute example. So I'll be using uh, with my h3 tag. It's left to you what you want over here. So now I'll be saying here the first what is the attribute we learn, something called ID. So ID is equal to say in double quotes or single quotes ABC. Now I have written my heading h3 heading. So I'm using the ID tag. Then I'll be going with opening of h3 tags, so it should be closed. Then I'll take some example of paragraph tag. Then I'll be saying here welcome to attribute example, closing of my paragraph tag. Then here I'll be writing something called style. Now here I'll go with the style, some value. So what is the value I'll be giving? Once we come across this in depth, we'll be learning. Just right now you remember the things which we already covered. Those things I'm covering. Say here I need something called color, and I want the color for this as red. Right? Now my paragraph color has been got with red color. So all together I'm explaining. So I can use my color like this. Then I need something called another paragraph or something like this. I'll say something called, I'll go with the table. Okay, I whatever the four classes we have covered, all together I'm explaining. So I'll be going with something called table tag. Already we have gone with this. So I'll be those who miss the class, for them also it will go and repeated. So I'm going for table. Then I'm want this table have the say something called border. So I want the lines. So I want border equal to say 1 or 2. It's left to you how you want. Then I want this to be center. So I'll be saying align, because we already gone through this attribute. So I want align equal to say left I want. So I'll be saying left. So it should be enclosed in single quotes or double quotes, left to you. Then I'll be entering here. Then I want one row. So I'll be saying tr tag is to be open. It should be close. So I need one row, two columns. So one row is there for that tr I am writing, and for column I need two TDs, so one TD. Here I am giving the value as say something called 1. Then closing of my TD tag. Then again I need one more TD tag. So as I told you, one row, two cells, two columns I need. So two TDs I am writing over here. Then I'll say value as a 2 or 3, something like this. Then closing of my TD tag. Then closing of my table tag, because I have been open the table class or table tag, so I have to close the table class tag. Okay, so table tag has been closed. Now see, I have used the ID. I covered the ID attribute. I covered the style attribute. I covered the align attribute, border attribute. Then I'll go with the background color. So I'll be going with something called background. Say here what are the thing we learned, say mm, we gone with the other h tag. I'll take again h2 I'll take. Then I'll say here bg color equal to say in the code say light 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 blue. Say name is left to you, the colors are left to you. Then just whatever that is coming in my mind I'm explaining. So I'm giving the light blue and closing of my tag. Then I'll be saying welcome. Close my h2 tag. H2 tag should be closed. Then BG color has been got finished. Then if you want again any combination of the BG color, if you want again I'll be taking another h1 tag or h3 tag. So I'll say another example for this. So I'll say h3. Then again I'll go with the other combination BG color uh, is equal to uh, what I'll say. Now I'll be going with an RGB combination. So I'll be going with an RGB or GB. Then I'll be saying open brackets. Then 260 something like so, not 260, 216, because 255 should not cross. Say 30 comma 40. So whatever that is there, you can just check it. Then close the tag. Then close my angular braces. Then again I'll be saying here. So text is left to you, whatever you want. Just I'm giving the sample examples how to use this one. Then closing of my h3 tag. Then what else is left out, beta? So BG color is gone. Then what is left out? So height and width you can take. So when we go with the picture concept image, I'll be telling you there the height and. So like this, you can use all your tags and you can just check the output for this. Now you can see I have an H3 heading. Then you can see the welcome color has been coming in the red color. Then I have something called welcome and this one. See different kinds of things I have been got it. So I can use like this in this fashion. So here I didn't got the color of this light blue. Say I'll be going with some other color for this. Say something like hash 00 CCFF. So hexadecimal value I'm giving over here. Three combinations I'm giving. You try this in your browser, beta. Sometime the because all the program may not support this by this app. Just try it in your and put it in the chat box. You can just execute it and check the output. So like this is the methodology of using our attributes. So here I'm saying left, the text box has came in the left, the table has been coming in this left side. If you want, I'll be going within the center. I try to change this and see whether I'm going to get this in the center or not. Now we'll see center. Now you can see the table has been coming in the center. Then what about the colors? Say here the color is not coming for the h2. We'll go with the paragraph. We'll see whether for the paragraph it's coming or not. Then I'll be checking over here. Paragraph BG color is correct only. I'll try to give this page, let the page should fill with colors. So I'll be saying BG color. mm, mm, Light gray. So if you want the entire page should fill with color, I'll be filling like this. Now you can see my page has been filled with color. So gray color, if it is visible, you can see it. Otherwise, I'll change the color so that here I try to give the color green. Now you can see, got it. So I can fill this background color with like this. So I can fill my page with background color. Okay. So like this, you can use it. Are you able to see this, all of you, or simply no noise from the students? Simply they are listening or something. Any doubts regarding this beta? Is it clear, all of you? Are you there, students? No, no voice is coming. That's why I'm asking you. Any doubts regarding this attributes? So I just you try this and tell me the output for this. So again, change this program. You can just change your different colors. Use all the hexadecimal combinations and try to see. Got it? Yeah. So this is about your all your about attributes. You change the colors. Don't give the same colors. You can just try to give the different colors. Okay. And also try for the that background for the not only for this page. If you are using computer, you just check it. This should work. Okay. So this is about the attributes. Attributes. So once we finish this attributes, we go with another one. The important one of the thing is forms. So our next concept is forms. So till now you have been displaying the text. You are displaying the tables. You are displaying the some information on the web page. But now I want my web page interactive. So if I want my web page interactive, then I have to use the GUI. That means I have to make my web page to be converted into GUI. That is graphical user interface. That means something should be interacted from your side. That means if it should not be like displaying the information. You are asking to the students, you are asking the users to do something, I'll give something for you. Like that, give and take combination should work. So simply you are displaying the information on the screen, people are reading, but there is no interaction between you and them. So I want the that communication between. I want some feedback. I want something to be get from you from the client side, or like anything that I want, so that I can develop myself or I can improve myself. So like this, I need some feedback or comments from the client side. Then I need to develop a GUI. So GUI in the web page can be called as forms. So if I want to develop the GUI, I'll be using the concept called forms. So how it will be? I need the web components. So I need some web components. So in order to develop a GUI, so we have a tag called form. We have a tag called form. Opening of form, closing of form. Now, what are the forms components that are available where I can put it? So pictorially, if I want to tell, if I want text box, which is going to accept any kind of content, either in numbers or either in the text or either in the alphanumeric. That means both ABCD as well as numbers. So if those things, that will be having some rectangle box kind of component where I have to put input value. So where I'll be using my input device called keyboard. Okay, with the help of my keyboard, I'll try to put some information in this box that will be stored or it will be going to work as an interactive between user and the system. So if I want to get this particular box where I'll be going to use my keyboard for input purpose or for retrieving purpose, I'll be using something called text box. So we call this as a text box. Then I have a something called drop down box. I have a something called drop down box. So drop down box where I'll be having the list of items where I can see those things by clicking on this item. I'll be getting list. From that I'll be selecting single or multiple. So we call this as a drop down box. We call this as a drop down box. So altogether we call this web components. Then I need something called to have the options either in a form of true or false. So we use something called radio button. We call this as a radio button where I'll be having, if I click, if it is filled with like this, then it is checked. If it is like this, it is unchecked. So we have true things. If it is checked, it is true. If it is not checked, it is false. So maximum I'll be using for something like, you please check whether you are male or a female. So I'll be using like this and I'll be saying female. So if you're male, you click this. If you're female, you click this. So like that, I'll be having a radio button. Okay. I have text box like this. I have drop down box like this. I have something called radio buttons. Then I have something called confirmation box. We call this as a check box. We will be using for confirmation or any other purpose where it will be having tick mark like this. That means you have checked this. So we call, that's why this as a checkbox. Okay. We call this as a checkbox, which is used for checking your. So this will be used for like, I have been confirmed that whatever the information I furnish is right. So you're confirming that I am correct, or whatever the information I furnish. That means purpose is, you may use for different purpose. But the thing is that if you want to check it, it is you are being confirming. If you are not checking, you are not being not confirmed. So we call this as a checkbox. Text box, drop down box, right? Radio buttons, checkbox. Okay. Then what else we can have in this? We have something called password box. You may have the Gmail account. So Gmail account, you will be having username and they will be asking for password. When we ask the password will be showing like this. That means your information is hidden. So if I want like this box, we are calling this as a password box. So we are going to use the password box. Okay. So I'll be having such kind of components, right? So I have checkbox, I have a password box, I have radio buttons, drop down box, text box like this. Okay. So if I want all these things, I'll be going to use the tag called form tag. So what is a form tag will going to do? It is going to use the components of web components, which is going to make my web page interactive. So if I want my page interactive, I need to build a GUI which can be happen with the tag called form tag, which will going to use the web components of this. So if I want to use this web components, I have to use the web form tag, which is going to make my web page interactive. This is what you have to learn about the forms. Okay, right. So how we'll be using one by one, we'll be seeing. Say, I want text box. I want text box. So if I want a text box, as I told, the text box will be like this. Now if I want this, I'll be using something called input. So the name itself saying input. So this is the tag we have to use for this. If I want to get this input, then what I have to do? I have to say type. Again, what it is, it's an attribute. See, we have been gone with this type. Where we find this type? In OL tag and UL tag, we have used this word. So type is an attribute. So what it will, the attribute will going to accept value. So here I'll be saying something called text. So when I'm saying text input, type is equal to text. When I say like this, automatically I'll going to get this box. Okay, so I have to say type is equal to text. Then I'm saying if you want the size, so if you want to define the size of this much of bigger size, so how you want? So depending upon that, you can use the size here. You can use the style for this. You have learned about the style tag or style attribute. So I can give the style over here so that my box will be little bit beautifully. It will be appear like this. I can have the many options. So right now I'm not going in depth of that. Once it comes to the topic of that, we'll be learning about that. So right now, just you remember, if I want a box like this, I'll be using input type is equal to text. Now it's a box which is going to accept something. So we are not going to write any information on the screen so that we don't have any closing tag for this. You have to remember, very important. Till now we learned paragraph is open. We have seen paragraph is open, paragraph is closed. We have used h1 tag is open, h1 tag is closed. Like this we have been learning about the all the tags which we have been learned till now. Now there we have to remember that it's in a graphical user interface, okay, the in components where I'm going to develop this kind of GUI, for which we are not going to write any information to be displayed on the screen. The component should be displayed, so information should not be displayed, components should be displayed. In order to have such kind of things, we don't have any tag called closing of input tag. We don't have this. So don't use this. Sir has told for every tag it should be open, it should be closed. So here it has been open, here it has been closed. Please do not use this one. We don't have this one because we are not writing. Now when we are writing like this, if any components, if we are any elements we are writing, that means in between this some text or something you are displaying on the screen. So something that you want to display on the screen, I'll be using opening and closing. But here we are not displaying anything on the screen, we are directly putting a component on the screen. So there is no requirement of writing information what is this. So the itself, the picture itself, GUI itself says that I am something for you. So we don't require any information to be furnished. So please do not write input closing tag. Here how will I writing? I'll write inputs type is equal text. Then here itself I'm closing, because it's as I told you that we have, don't have anything to be say. It's a self-explanatory box. So we don't require information, additional information to be provided over here. So here I'll be writing like this, right? So this is how I'll be having text. Now again, if you want any other text, then I'll be saying something called input type is equal to another text box. Then I'll be closing like this. So again I'll be getting second text box on my screen. So I have two text box in this fashion. So right now I have two text box. So text box like this, input text box. Now there is a problem over here. How I'll be identified? As I told in the beginning that in order to identify these two text box, I should be do something so that it should have separate. It should be that means I need some differentiation between these two components. Then immediately you should get in your mind that I should use something called ID. Say id is equal to t1, then I'll be saying id is equal to t2. So here you can see till now this is same, this is same. So this is text box, this is text box. So these are on my screen, there are two text box, right? So with the help of these two text box I can do something. That means I can put the values, I can do the values, and I can do calculations or something that you want to do. So then how I'll be going to identify these two, how I'll be going to distinguish between these two, that's I'm saying that this text box is different, this text box is different. Seeing looking is same, okay, but something is different from this. So how I'll be differentiate? By saying id is equal to t1, id is equal to t2. So if I do this, then for this it has been internally have the alias name, like we'll be having at our home some pet names. So Pallavi will be called as at home Pavi, okay. Naga has been called as Nag or something like that. Devender has been called as Dev. Like this, we'll be having pet names at our home. So similarly, they have the alias name. So we call this as an alias name. So a pet name like for this. So in order to identify these two components, in order to distinguish with two components, we are giving the ID as an attribute. So type as an attribute. If I want a text box, I'm saying text box. Then in order to distinguish, I am saying ID. If you have only one text box, then no need to worry about that. But if you have multiple boxes of similar kind, then in order to distinguish, I'll be using the ID. Okay, so this is how I'll be using the input box. Then if I want password box, if I want password box, so password box, as I told you that it will be similar to like this. Again, it will be accepting something value from the keyboard. Then my information is hidden. So for security reason, I don't want to show something. So my information should be hide. Then I'll be using a something called password box. So how I'll be using this one? Then I simply say input. Then I'll be saying type. Say here also I'm saying type. Now here also I'm saying type. Then here I'll be saying something called password. I'll be saying password. If you want, close here itself. Then automatically my box will go into, now I will be entering some values in my keyboard. The box automatically change my information into unvisible format. That means some text will be there. That means it's not going to display what you are typing, just it will going to give me the dots like this. So how it is coming? Simply I'm saying password. So type is equal to password. If I want normal text box, I'll be saying type is equal text. If I want normal box or the password box, I'll be saying type is equal to password. Got it? Now if I want radio, so radio, as I told, it will be circle like this, and it will be having two values. One is true value and another is false value. If it is check, it is circled with like this. If it is false, it will be like this. So we call this as a radio button. So for this, how I'll be using? For this, we are going to use the mouse or the keyboard to select this. So with the help of mouse, I'll be check it or uncheck it. So for this, I'll be saying type input type is equal to, simply I'll say radio. If you remember the name, it will be easy. So if I want a radio button, I'll be using like this. I'll be getting like this. Okay. So radio button can be get like this. Then I want something called checkbox. So as I told you, I have the checkbox like this. If I want a box with checked one or unchecked one, I'll be using a component checkbox. So for this, again, I'll be saying something called input type is equal to checkbox. Then we're going to get the checkbox on the screen. Okay, validations. This in this first unit we are learning only the how to create the GUI. When you come to the JavaScript programming, that is your advanced HTML program, there you're going to know about the more about this same components, how to validate if something has been done wrong, how we going to restrict the people. Like this, we are going to use this form. So before that, if you know the basics of this GUI, then will be it is very useful for the second unit for JavaScripting, where I'll be validate this all components. So right now, just you remember how to design this GUI. So if I want a checkbox, I'll be using input type is equal to checkbox, right? Then what is another one we have seen? I want something called drop down box. We also called as list box, or sometimes we call as a combo box. So lot of names are there depending on the differentiation also I'll be telling you. So we want something like something the items has been having into that. That means multiple items are there. Then when I click on that, it will be dropping out, and from that I can select one or multiple. So in that case, we call those things as a list box, drop down box, or combo box depending upon the scenario. We will be terminology will be changing. So if I want like this, now we are not going to use the input tag. So when I'm using inputs, that means you are putting something. So how you are inputting? Either from keyboard or from the mouse. So for checkbox, you are using the mouse or the keyboard to check it. For the radio button, we are using something called a mouse or a keyboard. For the text box or the radio button, we are using keyboard. So it is taking something from the input devices. So mouse and the keyboard are the input. So the name itself has been used by the input box. But when I'm saying for the drop down box or the list box or the combo box, we are trying to select the content from the drop down. That means it has been have the menu. So we call this as like menu. Other name is for this also, we call as a menu. So we have some menus. From that you are selecting few. So the name, what you are doing, you are selecting. So when you are selecting those things, then we are not going to write the input. Here we are writing something called select. So we are using something called select tag. So select tag is open. Now select tag is closed. Now here we have to use the opening and closing. Now previously we are not doing anything, so it had been closed itself only. So now here we are opening and closing, because here we have the options, lot of options. So in between this we'll be having, like as I told you, menu, no, we will be having the items in this fashion. So the items has been written in between the select. So these are items which has been dropping down. You are selecting from this. So when you are selecting the content from this, so it is from some box. So from box you are selecting the item. So this is the box. You are selecting the options. So for that purpose, the select open and select closes. Now here you can put the options. So when I'm saying options, selecting the options. So the name itself select, and another tag over here also the option. Now option I'll be saying. What is the option? Say yesterday we are talking about the reservation or we are talking about some city. As in the beginning I'll be telling about the where from where you are. Like that we'll asking. So I'm from Hyderabad. So I'll be saying Hyderabad. So option is open. So option is closed. So option should be closed. Then I am from Bangalore. So I'll be opening the option. I'll be saying Bangalore. Then closing the option tag. I am from New Delhi. So I'll be saying open the option, say New Delhi. Then close the option. Then like this, I can have my option. So I can add as many of options like this. Okay, so it's depend upon the usage. So I can have the select box. So these are the components which we are going to learn using the form tag. So all this whatever the tags you're learning, we are going to put it in the where, in the form tag. So if you see in between this form tags, I have to write all this. So now it's a time to execute the program lively. You just open your HTML editor and start writing the program what I'm telling you. So I'm here, I'm writing something called form example. Then I'm be telling about heading. I'm going with an heading. Say the heading should be what is the heading I want to put? So web components. This is my heading. You can write anything. Then this should be, I'm using now all the attributes. Till now, whatever the things you've done, learn all I'm explaining. So I'm saying align. Say align, it should be center. I won't go with an align as a center. So center. Then h1 tag is finished. Then I'll be using something called form tag. So going within a form tag. Form tag is open. Then form tag is to be closed. So as this is the best practice you have to do every time whichever it is open, it should be closed. Then now I want the text box as a component. So I'll be saying input. Then type is equal to, say I'll say type is equal to what is say text. Then I'll close it. Now simply I'll show the output.
Red, you ask. Red is a unique platform on which I manage all.
Now you can see here I'm able to check the input box. So I got the input box. So I'm saying here AMS college, right? I got like this. Okay. Now I need radio button. So I'm going with a radio button or a password. So if I want password, I'll be saying here password. Now you can see the password. I got this box as a like this. And if you say another box here, I got something like this. So I'm able to see my code. So now this is my password, right? Then I want to go with a radio button. Then I'll be saying here input type is equal to radio. Then I can see the output for this. Now you can see radio button has been checked. Again you can see radio button is unchecked now. When I click this, it has been checked. Okay, so if it is check means true, if it uncheck means false. Then I have something called checkbox I need. So I goes to checkbox. So I want to go with the checkbox. So similar, if you go with this, I'll get the box. It is now
So,
unchecked.
what is Thread, you ask? Thread is a unique platform on which I manage all.
So I got this one. So I can check like this. I can tick mark like this. So it is checkbox. I need something like uh yeah, one thing I forgot in the class. One more is something called another button. Say I'll be say I need type is equal to submit, or I'll say type is equal to say reset. Then you can see I got like this. Now I start typing something and I check this. Now when I click on the reset, everything will be clear. Okay. So if I use the reset, it will be clear. Now so again I'm showing you over here. If I said I'm typing something over here and I check like this, and if I say reset, it will go. Now coming to the submit button, right now I have not written any code for that. Just if I click this, this information will be displayed, or it is what you call store in my computer. So when I click on this, I'll going to get this. That means it is taking me to some other page. Okay. So here you can see about blank. That means here you cannot see, but if it is you're using the browser Chrome or any other Chrome on your desktop, there you can see what is the information that you put it in this box will be displayed on the screen. Okay, on the address bar you can see, but here we are using the app, we cannot see. Just if you click on the submit button, it will take me to some other page. So this is how I'll be using the components. Then another the component we are using, what is that component? A drop down list. So I'll be using something called select. Then I have something called option. Then option, in this I'll be saying something called Hyderabad. Close the option. Then I'll be saying again option. Then here I'll be saying something called uh, Nalgonda, something like this. Then close the option. Then close the select. So it's left to you how much big you want to add the things. That many code you can write it. Now you can see the output for this. Now I got the Hyderabad. Now if I click over here, I'm going to get the screen like this. So I can select the Nalgonda, or I can select the Hyderabad. I can select as many of list you want. So like this, I can have the so this is how we are going to use the GUI. Now these are all are only the dummy GUI. That is a normal framework we are creating with our GUI. After that, once we've come thorough with this particular concept, then when we go to the second unit, there we are using the scripting language to validate these boxes. That means if you are typing the other than the name or the number or something, that we are going to validate and restrict the people not to do that. So like that, we'll be going to learn in the next semester, next unit. Right now, meanwhile, just you thoroughly you understand the concept. So here, if you want text box, I'm using the input type is equal to text. If you want a password, I'll be saying type is equal to password. If I want a radio button component, I'll be saying type is equal to radio. If you want a checkbox component, then I'm saying type is equal to checkbox. If I want submit button or clear button, then I'll be saying submit type is equal to submit, type is equal to reset. If I want any drop down list, then I'll be using select as an tag. Like this, we are going to develop our GUI. Okay. Any doubt regarding this? So I'll send this, I'll share this entire code for you for the practice purpose. Okay. So today a lot of things has been covered. So we have covered about the attributes and we have covered about the forms. So if you have any doubts and queries, just you can post in the chat box. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. So yeah. So I stop today's session here. Do you have any class tomorrow? A special class? No, no. So with this we have been covered our first unit beta. So what I'll do today and tomorrow I'll give the material and all the videos I'll share to you in the WhatsApp group. All the videos I'm uploading on the YouTube. Then once it has been finished, you take 2 days of time. Most probably, if you have any doubts tomorrow, you can ask it. Otherwise, tomorrow I will not take the class. Just I'm giving the materials to you. For 2 days, you have to thoroughly you complete this entire unit, the material which has been sent to you. Videos, if you have any doubts, you can just go through the videos. Once you finish, on Monday, you will be having the assignment number one in the first unit. Okay. So you will be having, I'll be share the one Google form over there. With some multiple questions with time limit. So you will be having 45 minutes of time. In that 45 minutes of time, you have to fill in the blanks and you have to do with the multiple choice. Then you will be having one questions regarding theory questions will be there. You have to take on paper. You on that you have to write the answer, take the snapshot of it, and upload in that particular form. So this is what the Monday's exam. So don't get absent on that particular day. So 2 days, tomorrow and the Sunday, 2 days I'm giving the time for you to read the contents. Only from the first unit you'll going to get the exam. So like that, if you will be getting thoroughly, you will be completing your entire 1 unit. So that suddenly if you have internal exam also, you no need to worry. You will be thorough with that. Okay. So it's a practice purpose for you. Okay. And the first three people, those who get highest score, there is a surprise gift for them. Okay. It is from my side. Those who are going to get the 90% marks in that first unit. Okay. So now I'm taking the attendance. Whose names numbers are not there, I'll be asking them. Meanwhile, I'm taking the attendance.